crafters. Tonight we're going to be making 2 Valentine cards using the Sweet Conversation stamp set and the Sweetheart dies. Those are bundled, so you can save 10% if you purchase as a bundle. And then we're also going to use the Love and Happiness Cling Stamp set, which has our sentiments in it. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by, and if you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. I want to apologize for getting this video out so late. When I taped the 2 videos, I have arthritis and I had a flare-up all last week, so I was having trouble editing it. And I thought I'd be able to get it out to you by Friday night, and then I said, oh, I'll get it out Saturday. Well, I woke up Saturday not feeling very well, so I didn't even work on it then. It didn't get worked on again until Sunday night, so that's why it's coming out so late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably change the date of the next cards that are coming out. They'll come out probably Saturday. I'm going to apologize on those because they're going to be Valentine cards, a little late for you, but it's a great template to use into a wedding card. So I want you to watch the video all the way to the end so you can see the second card, and then you can also see the promos that are out, and then it'll tell you about the date of the next card delivery. Watch it till the end. So let me turn the camera down and we can get started. Here are those 2 Valentine cards we're going to make today. And we're going to start with this one. So I'm going to put this one away for now. This one is using the Sweet Conversation stamp set. And we used a little bit out of the jar of flowers, this part here. And we're also using the dies. It's best to purchase this as a bundle if you're going to get both of those, because you save 10% when you purchase on a bundle. So let's get started. Got my worksheet down there. This was a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, scored at 4 1/4. And it's already been scored, so all I need to do is fold and burnish it. And I'm making sure that it's a crisp line there. That's why I burnished it on both sides. And so next we want to do is glue down our designer series paper. This paper is from the Sweet Talk, and it comes in 12 different colors. It's double-sided, so you can use both sides. And this side is you could probably use year-round, but this has more hearts on them. So when I cut this at 4 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to glue it down, and I am going to actually use my seal because it's almost empty and I just want to finish it up. So it is strong, so you don't have to use a whole lot. And this paper, the hearts go up and down, so I can just put it on this way. I'm going to leave an 1/8 inch border all the way around. So let me get it lined up here. And I'm just going to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. And the next piece is for the inside of the card, and we'll go ahead and stamp that right away. And we're going to use our Gorgeous Grape for the ink. And we'll use this sentiment here, Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to close this up for right now. We'll have to come back and use that on the front of the card. And I am just going to clean this off right away. So we'll put this inside the card using our seal again. And let me get this here. And now this is done. So I will take a few minutes to replace that. And just kind of get the gunk out of these little boogers, I guess. So this is really easy to replace. You saw how I snapped this open and then I just pulled this out. And then I just need to drop this right back in there. And there's like these little posts here to line things up on. Then it just snaps back together. And it'll take me a little bit to get it started. And there we go. So much easier now. So this I'm going to leave it with an 1/8 of an inch border as well. And looks like it's going to line up right away. And I'm going to just take my bone folder, make sure there's no air bubbles in there. Got that done. So next we want to do is our Vellum. And the Vellum is cut at 3.5 inches by 4 5/8. And I'm just going to make sure that that's what I want here, because I'm thinking I wanted it to have a little bit trimmed off yet. I'm going to trim 1/8 off of here. Make it 4.5 instead. Want to measure twice and cut once, right? And that looks like the right size now. So I want to find the center of the card, and we said that was 3.5. So let's find it. It would be 1 3/4. So let me draw that down here toward the center. And I'm just using the center so that I can measure the other ones right from the center portion. So then we want to go out 1/2 inch from that spot. And 1/2 inch on the other side as well. And then we'll measure the center of this one. Again, that was 4 5/8. 2 5/16. And from there, measure out 1/2 inch. Because we want to make 1 inch squares. That's what we're doing here. So I've got this line here, this line here, and this line here, this line here. So we're going to want to stamp that using our Stays-On ink. I've got this to stamp off the stamp right away because I don't want it to stain the stamp any more than it has. And we'll just go across horizontally, going just above that line. And then we'll do the bottom line. And then we'll come across and turn the Vellum, so we'll still be doing horizontal lines. And I want to do this one, making like equal distance on each side. And make sure we got this on the same location. Okay, let me just close up this stamp set before I get ink everywhere. And we'll just stamp off here. And then I am going to put some cleaner on there. This just stays on cleaner, and it's not meant to use on the photopolymers because it'll make it weaker. It'll weaken up the, but I am going to do it anyways. And then I will get it off there right away using my stamp chamois. And we're going to let this dry. I forgot we need to stamp this, so let's get that taken care of, and then we'll have everything dry on us. So we're going to just stamp these X's on here, and we want 2 here, and then 3 down in this corner. So let's do that. Now I think I can close this up, and I will clean this off as well. Moisten this with our mist. I'm moistening it with our Stampin' mist because it was a little bit dry when I was using it earlier today. So I am going to try and dry this with our gun. So let's go ahead and put our stamps on, and we've got this big one here I'm going to put right in the center using a dimensional. So I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. It helps me grab a dimensional as well as putting it on, and then I can just take the paper off the back as well. And then I'm going to put this one right in the center, and that's it. And the next one will be, how about Text Me? And we'll just put that right up here in our BFF. And right here. I'm just going to see if that won't come off. Yeah, it does. And then I'm going to just use this tissue to get that color off of the color lifter. And one more. And I'm just going to set that right down here. And I want to just see if these are dry enough, because I want to flip this over to put dimensionals on the back as well. We're going to be using the foam adhesive strip. They come off in strips. And I am going to just lay it down on the black portion. Well, that was perfect size. And then I'll take the next strip and I'll trim that off here. And then we're just going to fill in these little spots in between. And then I'm going to put dimensionals behind these things as well. And I can just do a smaller dimensional because I don't think we really need much there. I'm going to stack them when they're... Okay, let's just see how that... You can see any of those through here. And I think I want to stack them because if you look at how high this is, it's about double this size. So we'll do that. It'd be better to stack them rather than let it sag, I think. I didn't stack the first one, and I found that the corners sag a little bit. So I am just going to lay these right on top of the other dimensional. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Trying to just poke that over a little bit because see it on the other side. So let's use our Take Your Pick tool to take all these paper backings off. And I might not be able to do that. I can't pick it because of the height. So I can just flip it off, I think. So let's attach this to our card. We're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch border around the entire card base. And sorry if my head's in the way. Trying to get the top portion without pushing it down because I don't want it to commit. I think that's good. So now I'm going to just press everything down. There we have our card. That's our first one. And we'll move on to the next card then. This one is called the Endless Folding Card. You unfold it continuously. So the first fold, when you open it, goes to this one. And then you flip up these next ones. And then the next one. And then the next one, you're right back at the beginning. This starts with 2 pieces of cardstock cut at 5.5 by 4.5. And we're going to start with this first one here, which is a bottom layer. And we need to score that at 1 1/16 inches. And you need to make sure that you're very accurate on these scorings so that it will fold continuously. So we want 1 1/16. So that is just the 1 inch and then that smaller mark right next to it. And let me get that blade out of the way. I should probably remove it, but I'm going to need it in a few minutes here. So 1 1/16, and we're going to score it up and down the whole length of the card. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, 1 1/16. And I can just move it to the other side because there's a ruler there up to 1 3/4 inches. So I'm able to measure anything out to the right off of using this right side of the ruler. So we have that. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to turn it to the long edge and cut it at 2 3/4. And this will become our bottom layer. So then let's take the other piece. We want to score it first at 1 3/8 on each side. And then we'll do the second side. And then I'm turning it on the short edge. We're going to cut it at 2 1/8. There we go. And I am going to see if I can remove this because it was in the fold line, so I don't want it to interfere with our card. It looks like it was going to come off there for a second. And I think I can leave these other ones on. Then we're going to take these and we want to stack them right on top of each other. And we're going to put these to the side because that's going to help us when we're piecing everything back together again to make sure that we get it all back together properly. And we're going to take our tear and tape and we want to put adhesive in all the 4 corners on the bottom layer. So we're going to put adhesive here and adhesive here right up to the fold line. Remember we scored that. And I am going to use tear and tape, but I am not going to tear it because I don't have strong fingers. So I'm just going to use my scissors to clip it off. We've got this half done, so let's get the other half done. I'm sorry if you didn't see the other one, so I'm just taking it from the edge to the fold line, and then I'm pulling it back just like 1/8 of an inch from the fold line. That is our adhesive that we need to make this work. So next we'll do is we will take our tape off of here, and I'm going to take the left-hand side, and we'll do that corner first. And so what we want to do is we want to match this up here, corner and the sides. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. I'm not seeing anything showing from the back. And when I flip it over, it doesn't show either. So that I did good there. Let's see if I can do the next one. This is the bottom corner, bottom left-hand side. And I want it to be even at the top. Seems to be. Then we'll do this right hand side. So I'm going to get this all the way to the top portion. You start in the corner and just make sure that it falls right along the edge. Okay, that looks like they're all there. So I am just going to burnish the corners right now where the tape is. So I just don't want that to pull apart because it looks pretty good right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip through it and do a folding with just our fingers. Oh, this one didn't take because I forgot to take the tape off. Imagine that. Doesn't stick if the paper's on there. Okay, so let's make sure that we've got the corners matching. Okay, so now we're going to fold it, and we're going to, there we go. That first fold is always hard to find. And then we'll fold the next one. And then the next one. And then we're back to the beginning again. So now I'm going to go through and fold it again, burnishing all my fold lines. See, this is all good. Okay, we're back to the beginning. Okay, perfect. So next we need to do is adorn this card. And I'm going to bring this card out here so that we can watch how I did it previously and hopefully not make any errors. I am going to use our Stampin' Seal, and I may use our liquid glue. This is our liquid glue here, and I have it in this holder here because that'll keep the air bubbles from messing with the glue. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this smaller bottle here, which is the same glue that's from this big bottle. The thing is, this has a nice needle nose tip, so when I'm putting on those small embellishments, it's a lot easier to use without getting lots of glue going all over the place. Okay, let's do these right here. I'm going to just lay everything down and make sure that it kind of works. And there's no directions on this. It's not a directional print, so I can just put those on right in the center there. And I'm going to use the seal, like I said earlier. And I'm looking at the fold lines because I want to leave 1/8 of an inch for a border. And I should get my silicone mat out, shouldn't I? And again, I want to leave 1/8 of an inch for a border. And I'm going to make sure the bottom matches up and the top should match up as well. And the next is these side pieces. And let's just do these real quick. Just folding that back underneath on itself because it kind of went over the edge there. And it would be sticking out. So I don't want it to interfere with the folding of the card. So again, 1/8 of an inch to all the fold lines. So what I'm doing now is I am laying this down so that this corner here lines up with that corner, these two line up, and then this one should line up with that one and that one. That should give me my 1/8 of an inch. Just make sure it's even. And then we'll do the same thing at the top. Very good. Just use our bone folder to get everything down. So then we want to put our sentiment on. What we did here is we put 2 envelopes on. So we'll do the envelope on the right-hand side first. And I am just going to use the seal and put it on the bottom portion of the envelope. And then I'll just fold those over, and then that's going to seal the envelope. And what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to burnish it and make sure that it's a nice clean envelope. Then we have our stamp. We've got a couple hearts here. Let me see if I can get these out. Let's put this one in here. And I'm going to just do a little seal on here. Slide her in there. And then I'm going to use the glue for the heart on here. The other hearts I'm put on with a dimensional, but this one is going right on to the heart that's coming out of the envelope. Put a little seal on the back of this. And we don't want to go beyond the fold line above. So that should work there. Then we need our dimensionals. I think I want to do a second love and glue it on top of here to raise that up. So let me get my cut and emboss machine and the die. This die came out of Love You More Than dies, and we're just going to take the love part on the very top of this die. And we're just going to add it right here. I don't know if you can see that because it's kind of low. I don't have a lot of room on my desktop. So this is regular cutting plates. So we put the one down first, sandwich the paper in between the two number 2 plates. And I do put the die with the blades cutting down onto this number 2 plate right here. Probably have to come back to this. I am going to glue this on top of the other love, and that'll give it more dimension. And I did that with the red one as well. I don't know if you can tell. If you look really close, you can see that I have it raised up there. So I'm going to lay this on here and then just line it up with my, take your pick tool. And now we'll put some glue on the back side. And this is more what I wanted coming out for glue rather than those big globs that were coming out before. I need to get the U, and I had 2 options here. We have this right here. And I'll need to trim that down, and this is going to have to go up higher. We're going to use that option. I will use glue on this as well. So it says love you. And where I found that U is in A Wish for Everything. And I used, where's for you? Oh, here we go, right here. What I did is I put a piece of tape over the stamp on the 4. And actually you can even see the ink there still. So I put that down, and then I stamped it, and then stamped the card stock. And so it only was U that was stamped. So that way if I wanted more space on there, I would have it. So you can change your words around by using a little tape and blocking things off. And so that's the only thing I used out of this stamp set was the 4U. Next we want is to put some dimensionals on these hearts. And I am going to just tuck them up there really close as far as I can toward the top.
one half of the card is done, of that panel. Then we'll do the other envelope again. And this was my other options for the U, was to do it in the pink, but we chose to do it in the purple. So what we're going to do is use our seal on the inside of this again, and then fold these in, and then we'll burnish this. And then we'll glue it down. And I'm just going to put it on the bottom corner. Then we've got our frame here, and that framelit is from Ornate Frame Dies right here. And that's the only thing we used out of that set. And then I took a 1-inch punch right here, and I punched some paper. And then I went and I trimmed off the corners because they'll show through, and I didn't want them to show through. So I am just going to put some glue on the back of this frame and attach. And before I go much farther, I need to glue this down. And I'm going to use glue rather than the seal because I have the glue out right now. So I'm just going to put it up toward the top part, kind of center it there, and now get it into our frame. And I think we want to have it down as far as it'll go without showing at the top. I wanted to be able to see through these holes here because those are going to show up on the card. This is going in the envelope, so you won't see that. So that's why I didn't try and trim everything down to get an exact size on there. Trim this out right here. So I'm just going to trim away where those dots are showing. I don't want to go too far because I don't want it to interfere in the frame portion. So we should be able to get that now. So now we'll just glue that portion down. It'll look like you can pull the envelope out, but it will be glued down so it won't slide out. Next we'll want is our 3 more hearts. Yeah, so they were stuck in the bottom. And we will put those on with dimensionals. This part of the card is done, so let's fold forward to the next section. And we're going to have to do a little stamping and die cutting here, but we've got our pieces. Just laying them down to see how it works. Now, we're only going to be able to do these 2 pieces here because the other ones will go when we fold this over in the next section. They're actually peeking from behind. So I've got 1 heart of each size done. We need to just stamp the other side. And those are coming from our Sweet Conversations stamp set. We use just about everything in this stamp set. We have 2 stamps that we need to do to finish this portion off. We have You Are Cute and BFF, so we need Text Me and Love You. And what I'm going to use is this paper here. And I'm going to turn it on this side. That paper is the Simply Marvelous. And it comes in a variety of colors. And I just love it. It works for any type of cards that you're working on. And this is what I used when I did the card in red. This one. And it's 2-sided. So here is the other side. So we're going to stamp this first, and then we'll put the die cut on there. And let me get my ink out. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp our next piece that we're going to need in the next panel. So we'll do that as well. Let me do that one first. So I have a 1 3/8 inch square here. And I cut that out using the trimmer. And I just want to center it on the card as best as I can. I was a little bit nervous there because I didn't know why it stuck. I'll have to stamp off on that when I'm done doing these other two. So let me get these taken care of. Let's do the big one first. I'm going to use our Stampin' scrub and scrub these off real quick. And then we'll get our cut emboss machine up here again. Need to make sure you can see it. Not a lot of real estate on this desktop, that's for sure. So we're going to see if I can't cut them both at the same time. I'm using this Post-it tape to hold them in place. So then I can usually do more than one at a time. Usually when I go and line up the second one, I'm bumping the first one. So the tape is helping keeping that in place. And it's just has a little tack to it, so it doesn't tear the paper when I pull it off. Just enough room. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to finish die cutting because it was running out of room there. And these dies came as part of the bundle, and they're the Sweetheart dies. It has all kinds of hearts in here. And that's the envelope, the template for the envelope. So it has the fold lines here rather than cutting lines. And that's what makes it so easy to fold up and turn it into an envelope. So let's bring our card back in here. So I could do this one this way or this way. And I like it this way better. I'm just going to make sure that I haven't flipped things over. So this is the upright. And so I just open it up this way. So now I can just put those on here. And I am going to use my seal again to do that. I'm going to leave 1/8 of an inch around the edge of the card, up to the fold line, I should say, and that'll be all the way around. Again, 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to line it up at the top here, this corner. Make sure that's lined up. And then make sure it's straight on the bottom here. There we go. And I'm just going to burnish that. Okay. And then these are our hearts that we're going to use. And I am just going to use the large dimensionals on those. Put it right in the middle, and that should be fine. That'll keep it in place. So I will put the big ones in first, and then I'll put the smaller one in. But I'll use a little bit of glue to attach the smaller one at the very top portion. So let me go back here. We've got our You Are Cute right up here. And then I am going to take the BFF and we'll put a little bit of glue right in this corner right here, right there. Okay, that should be it for that panel. So I'm going to just make sure everything's down good and then fold it to the next panel. And we'll do this one too. Lots of gluing on this one. So we can just put these down with our seal. And we'll make sure we're putting this on 1/8 of an inch, all 4 sides. And it looks like I'm short on the top part, so I'm going to just come down just a little bit more. It'll let me. Then we've got this taken care of already. We've got it all stamped out, and we're just going to glue that down. Even use our seal. I usually use the glue because it gives me wiggle room, but I've been doing pretty good today. I haven't had to tear too many things off and redo them. And then this just gets glued down here. And I'm going to find a heart in here to put on to the card. I think they're all dark. Well, this is a light one here. Yeah, we can just do that one. And that gets glued down. Oh, way too much glue. Probably going to be anyways. So there we go. And then we want to glue that down on the back. And I'm just doing it at a little bit of an angle. We have our banner. Put it right down toward the bottom first. Then we'll leave a little bit of space in between the two. And then we'll just use our seal again. And then that just goes right in the center. All the way up to the top. Then we've got our purple hearts that we want to put on here. We're going to put them on with dimensionals. I'm pretty sure I want to use the dark ones on here. What do you think? Yeah, it's picking up the dark from in there, so we'll leave the dark on. Dark ones goes. Okay, now I'm just going to go and push some of these foam inwards. They're kind of peeking out. This one down here. Okay, those all look good. So I think we've got that panel done. Oh, no, we've got 4 more pieces to go on. And these, the directions will go up and down either way, so it's fine. Let's use our seal for that. And we'll leave 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. I had meant to trim this down a little bit because it's not allowing me to do 1/8 of an inch border to the top. It should have been trimmed another 1/8 inch off from there so that it would line up properly. Okay, those two are done, and we'll get these taken care of. Okay, so let's go back, see where we're at. And then the last panel. So let's just get these out here and see how we want to place them. All right, let's do the top portion first. And we're just going to center it and place it so that it's 1/8 of an inch around. Here's another piece I think I should have trimmed because it's not giving me 1/8 of an inch. That's where I probably should be using glue because there's no wiggle room now all of a sudden. And we're going to match that up with this corner right here and allow for 1/8 on the end. I should have been using liquid glue. It's a lot easier when you're working on these cards. I need to stamp this sentiment right here because I didn't have that taken care of. And it's on a 3/4 inch piece of white cardstock, and then we'll put it on our purple cardstock. But I want to make it using the banner punch. So it'll be a 1 inch for the purple, and then we can slide it in there and it'll punch the end, and then a 3/4 inch for the white. Okay, so here's the purple, and I'm just going to slide that in and push it all the way up, and I'm just going to punch it out. That's one end, and then we'll do the same thing with there's a 3/4 inch stock. I'm just going to make sure that we got that centered too. That one's taken care of. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment onto this piece right here. The sentiment we're using is a Happy Valentine's Day friend from the Love and Happiness stamp set. Yeah, it looks like I've got it onto the rubber, so I am going to just wipe that off. I'm just going to see if I can get it. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to, so I'm have it on track where the lines are, so that it's going to help me center this. And hopefully I'm not going to be in your way. And I'm going all the way over to the edge. I'm going to go down. Commit. That turned out really good. So now what we want to do is we want to punch this out and put it in the banner punch, and I'm just going to hold on to it for just a few more minutes, a few more seconds I should say, because we want to make sure that it's dry enough. So I am going to trim the edge off, because if I put it in now, it'll be way out here and we don't need that much space. So I'm looking for my scissors actually. So about here, I'm thinking. Put it off. Then I have to feed it with this into the machine because there's not enough card to hang on to it. I wouldn't be able to get it back out again. So I'm going to just feed that in there. And we'll turn it over and shift it on me. So I am just going to, making these tiny banners with the punches is difficult because of, the amount of space it needs. I haven't measured to see how much it takes to put the end on, and I need to make sure that it's still staying centered. And it is. So I am going to punch again. That is much better. And then we just need to fix it to here. We are going to glue it down, and hopefully we can punch it and have it be close to an exact punch. 1/8 of an inch for the border. And I am going to say that we have to take off probably about that much. And then we'll run it through again, and I'm going to put it with the tag side down so that I can see it. And let's see if I can get my take your pick tool to help center it. And there we go. Not too bad. Takes care of that. Let's get this closed up. We probably should have did that ahead of time. And now we'll fix that down using dimensionals. And I'm going to put it toward the top. See, there's a lot of bulk right here. That's why I thought it'd be better if we put it up here. That'll help balance it out. Let's start from the beginning and see how it looks. Go. Love you. You are cute. Happy to have you in my life. Okay, and then we're back to the beginning again. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. It was really fun to make. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know of the promotions going on right now. Celebration is here. There has never been a better time to join and shop during Celebration. What if being creative was your job? Oh wait, it can be. Sign up to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator during the Celebration event and earn 2 free stamp sets of your choice, bonuses, and enjoy the perks that come with joining the Stampin' Up! Family. For more information, just contact me. Shop Celebration. For every $50 and $100 you spend, you'll earn an exclusive celebration item for free. Depending on the amount you spend, you'll be able to mix and match the celebration items you earn. We have a stunning variety of stamp sets and designer series paper for you to choose from. Take a look now through February 28. When you host a party with $300 or more in sales, or if you purchase $300 or more in sales yourself, you can earn the host stamp set for free. Take a look now through February 28th. For more information, feel free to contact me. Mark your calendars. I'll be back Saturday, February 5th at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll be making a Valentine's card using products right out of the new mini catalog, and I'll be showing you how to turn it into a wedding card. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight, and I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.